Catherine, I'm so happy to see you. Thank you for joining us today and for agreeing to talk about your experience, about the course. Yes, welcome.
Thank you.
So I think that before we talk about exam-related techniques, about plans for future and current responsibilities, maybe you can introduce yourself briefly to those watching us. Maybe you can say a few words about your qualification and your current occupations.
Fine. So my name is Catherine. I'm French. Maybe you can hear it from my little accent. And so I'm a dual qualified lawyer. I'm a French lawyer from the outset. So I studied law in France, where I worked for a long period. And then along my career, I decided to requalify as a solicitor. And so that's why I tried to find some person to give me some preparation, and I met you a few years ago now, and thanks to your preparation I finally passed this exam, which is quite tough compared to the French one.
Excellent. Yes, congratulations. So your route to qualification was first French qualified?
Yes. Exactly. So I first qualified as a French lawyer, and I have also worked for a substantial period as a lawyer in law firms, so for my career, and the other part as a legal counsel in private practice.
Okay, but under the current system, under the SQE route, is it possible to reverse this direction? First to qualify in England and Wales, let's say, and then in France. Is it possible now?
Yes, of course, it is possible. And it is also possible to be referred as a foreign referral lawyer, which is another kind of possibility to practice in France as a solicitor. Yes, but it's possible to do the other way around.
Okay, and would you advise it? What are the benefits? Once the candidate has qualified as a solicitor of England and Wales, and he or she is of French origin and originally French, has French citizenship, is it worth going back to France and making all the steps to qualify in France? Do you think there will be any benefits?
I think it's going to be difficult because the two systems are quite different. The law are completely different. So being a French solicitor is based on the civil law practice and knowledge, and as a solicitor, you're practicing common law. So it's completely two different systems. And for sure, I would advise to become a dual qualified because it can give you and open you lots of opportunities. So if you want to become a French lawyer, I would advise to follow the way. Yes, it's difficult to first qualify as a solicitor and then requalify as a French lawyer. I would say it's better maybe to be a French lawyer and requalify as a solicitor.
I see. Okay, you've just referred to some opportunities, wide opportunities. Yes. And what opportunities, maybe best opportunities that were open to you after you qualified?
So the reason why I wanted to requalify is because within my tenure, I was a legal counsel in a family office. I came across some international contracts which were under English law and some kind of arbitration as well. So I was not really struggling, but I had difficulties to understand some content and some very specific knowledge. And I thought it was maybe a good idea for my employer to benefit this dual qualification. And from this step, I realized that it was very interesting to practice this common law, because the way you have to see and you have to approach the legal system is very beneficial. It gives you a very good sight, very good reflex. You can become more creative. So I saw many benefits and over the career, I would say.
It's amazing. So your major engine, your major motivation was self-development.
Yes, totally. And so it also improved my practice of English, my practice to understand more English people as well. And I think it's very important when you have commercial relation with into the business with clients, or also any parties, suppliers. If you have to negotiate contracts, international contracts, it gives you a very good idea of what's going to happen in real life.
And what's your attitude? What's your opinion on the SQE exam now, about the methodology?
Compared to France, I can say it's a very, very difficult exam. And without preparation, it's really impossible to pass it. Really, I would not recommend. I would recommend really to be accompanied because it's not possible. Even if you know everything, you know all the concepts, it's not only a question of skills. It's also a question of practice. It's a question of methodology. It's a preparation as a sportive. You have to prepare mentally. You have to prepare physically. It's really a total contest.
So even after your French qualification, you felt that it was such a big challenge.
Yeah, because you have a lot of concept to learn, so it's huge, very huge. And compared to in France, you have to write, a kind of essay, or you have also oral things to do, but it's not that conceptualized. With the SQE, you have very different type of exam. It's computer based, it's timed, so you have a lot of pressure. The pressure, you have a kind of pressure for the French bar, but it's completely different one, really. And in the SQE, you feel also that there are other people and other competitors, and they are very tough, the other competitors. I can tell you can feel that. And so that's why you have much more pressure. And it's not that easy to pass it from the first time.
No, it's not. Yes. Yeah.
No.
Yeah, I can imagine. Right. And what about mock assessments? Are they also incorporated in the French qualification exam?
Yes, but not on the same way. I would say it's more subjective on the French side. You don't have, but because I know that for SQE, you really have very, very detailed. They go very deep in the mark, and so they have kind of guidelines. So I think from the French side, they don't have. Maybe they have the answer of the general essay, how it has to be turned, but they don't have this deepest way to mark. So it's a completely different approach. It's not comparable, really.
Yeah, many people share this opinion, and
really?
I would agree, yes, because LPC graduates say it's nothing compared. I mean, it cannot be compared. SQE cannot be compared to LPC exams. It cannot be compared to qualification exams in other countries. So it's a unique exam methodology.
Exactly, yes. And also, you have also the opportunity, so you have the opportunity to fail, sure, because you have such different type of exam, oral, written, time, etc. But you have also opportunities to succeed, because if I don't remember exactly how many you have, but you have a kind of 16 type of exam. If you fail one, you can succeed the other one. So if mentally you're prepared well, you have ways to succeed. It's not the end of the day if you fail one or two sessions, because you really have the opportunity to succeed the other one and get a very good grade, which can erase the failure just before. So that's why it's like a marathon in a way, really.
Right. And you shouldn't give up. That's the secret, right?
No, never, because it's very. Every step you're making good step anyway. Even if you fail, you learn from this fail, and for sure you will succeed the next time. So it's when you start, never give up. Really.
Okay.
It's my advice.
Yes, thank you, Catherine. I'm happy to see you smiling, and feeling confident, and not having to do this exam in the future, anytime in the future. But I think that you sitting the exam and also qualifying in France has allowed you to accumulate lots of experience. And sure. I think that because I know that you are going to set up a course, you are enrolling students already on the SQE course, right? And
yes.
I'm quite convinced that all your experience and knowledge in both jurisdictions are going to be very helpful to students, to come in very handy.
I hope so, because for me now it's good to transmit, because for sure I'm quite a mature legal counsel now. I'm not at the beginning of my career, and so I found out that teaching and mentoring people is very helpful. For it's a good exchange, because I can give my experience, and also the way our students are learning now is very different from the way I learned myself when I was a student. Now you have a lot of tools, you have a lot of ways to learn and to understand things that I didn't have at the time I was a young student, So that's why it's I can give really my experience from the last SQE, but also from the beginning of my studies, and even if you because you have no age to take this exam. You can take it if you're young, if you're more mature. It's possible for anybody.
Yes, and we have a wide variety of candidates studying with
Really?
us. Yes, and I wouldn't say that most of them are young. I mean, we count that young means until 35, right? No, we have many people who are beyond that age and who are doing very well. Yes.
And there is another point I would like to highlight, is that for me, this exam was a way to differentiate myself from the other people on the market. Because French lawyer, you have a lot. You have French lawyers with international experience, with very nice CV, very nice career. But French qualified, who is qualified with English and Wales law, is not that common. So I noticed that we are not that much being dual qualified French and English. So I think this could make the difference.
Yeah, so you're more competitive now.
Yes, in a way. So I don't push it as much as I could, because I am at a step of my life and career. I'm fine with that. But if I were younger, for sure, I would push a lot more, much more.
Right. All right. Okay. If we look at your interaction with the candidates enrolled on the course, the SQE preparation course, I can see how they can benefit from you being qualified in England and Wales. And do you think that they can also benefit from you being qualified in France?
Oh yes, of course, because I can answer maybe question they have. I can maybe give them some advice if they have to for example to take LLM, because some people are thinking maybe if they take this LLM they could benefit from this or that. Yes, and in France we have also access to it's not the law society, but it's also the bar of the French Bar Association. You may have a lot of information on that, and also information of how to benefit from exemptions, because we heard about a lot of exemptions. I benefited myself from some exemptions from some areas of law when I register to take the exam. So there are ways to be exempt from some parts.
So it's a lot of work, really, to prepare this course and then to tutor it. But I also think that tutoring a course like this, tutoring students, requires some managerial experience. Do you think so?
Yes, I think the time is a key. So it's really important to adopt a routine, either for the student and also for the teacher. It's good to practice and to work every single day, even for not a long time. But as I said, it's as a sport. If you have to practice a little bit, and also for the teacher as well, because if you don't have the feet, or if you don't practice for a while, you can forget. So I think it's very important to stay focused.
Mm-hmm. Okay, and is there any managerial experience in your career also?
I have. Yes, I think it helps, and it helps to have the good attitude and positioning yourself on a good way, and how to say things, how to present yourself. Everything counts. Everything.
But in addition to your dual qualification, you also are a manager.
Yes. I used to be a manager. Sometimes, depending on the different tenure I had, I was a manager. I was not, because I worked in very different environments. I worked in in law firms. So it was very strict, very codified. I worked in a very big international company in the headquarters when there were 14,000 employees. I worked in very small companies, and I worked in family offices, which is completely different world. So yeah, I can also give my experience as an employee. I think this could help people in their career or in their personal life too.
Yes, yeah, that's quite a chunk of experience. Yeah, that's a whole ocean, from
Yeah.
many sources, feeding on many sources and coming from many directions.
Sure.
I can imagine how beneficial it's going to be for students. So Catherine, and you will be one of the tutors, right, in this study group. Who will be another tutor that will be in the team with you?
Yes, it's Mathieu Quenin, so I say it in French. Mathieu was studying with me, preparing with me a few months ago. And yes, so I have the opportunity, and I'm very lucky because he's a very nice and very smart practicing solicitor as well. He's doing more litigation, more on the counsel side, but I think his experience as a litigator will be very, very helpful, especially on practice when you have to practice when you have to talk in front of a judge or a client or whoever during the exam. Yeah.
Okay, so the second mentor is also French qualified.
He was working in Paris, as far as I remember. Yes, he's a dual qualified as well, but he is working in London. Yeah.
All right. Yeah, but I'm happy for the students, because I think that if anyone in the study group has any problems with the language, with understanding some legal concept, then you can switch, both you and Matthew.
In French, totally. Yeah, of course.
Excellent. So that's another benefit, I think.
Yeah, because French lawyers are not. Some are not that good in English. It's due to the system of learning English at school. So it's getting better, but sometimes they're struggling a bit. So maybe it could be beneficial to give them some tips to learn, for example, sentences, to be more at ease when you have to write an essay. Or you see, so I think this could help, yes.
Okay, and how about the part of the SQE that this study group is going to focus on? Are you going to focus on the SQE 1 or SQE 2?
I think we maybe focus more on the SQE 1, but it would be really on demand, I would say. Maybe before the mentoring session, they can express if they have specifics they want to focus on, or maybe they will have the opportunity to send questions so that we can prepare with Mathieu as much as we can to address all the concerns. I think this could be more beneficial for the whole group to prepare a bit, yes.
And from your personal experience, Catherine, how much time you think is the minimum requirement for proper preparation for the SQE 1, let's say?
I would say at least 20 hours per week. So to give you my experience, I was working full-time at that time, and I had a very tough job. So it was very, very difficult to give time at this exam. So during the week, I was working maybe 1 or 2 hours per day. But on the weekend, I was working as a dog, I can say, because I was starting very early in the morning, sometimes with you, Irene. And so it was, I can tell you, on the weekends, I was doing big sessions, really. And yeah, so as I said before, you have to work every single day. And sometimes it's even when you have to go and to see your doctor in the waiting room, you can do maybe some work, some exercise. It's very easy going now. With your phone, you can work from anywhere, in the transportation, in your car. So you have to, and also you may also listen to, I can tell you, I was listening to Olga, even when I was practicing on the treadmill, I was running and I was listening to
Really, on the treadmill?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah. Really, it's very, because you just learn by heart things, really. Yeah.
Okay, so you have to commit your time, your efforts,
Yes.
you have to sacrifice something.
You have to make some plannings, you have to organize yourself, and also you have some apps who can teach you how to manage your time. For example, it's good to allocate 25 minutes, to focus on a concept, and then make a pause, and then walk a bit and come back to your. It depends on the personality of each person, but I think you can find yourself what is the best suit you. It's really important to have a routine and to organize yourself. With no organization, it's not possible. Because sometimes you have people who are posting some things on LinkedIn and say, "Oh, I didn't prepare. I prepared 2 weeks before." It's wrong, impossible.
Right. So I can see now that even having the access to the best mentor, to the best study group, to the best course provider does not cancel your personal effort that you have to make on a daily basis.
Yes, and you can increase the benefit of the preparation. Everything depends on you, really. So the preparator is a very important part. And I think also I received very good tips and very good advice from my preparator too. When I was learning with you, I can remember that, and I can tell you it was a game changer, really.
Thank you. Now you're ready to pass this knowledge and the skills that you have learned.
Yeah, because when I first came to you, oh my God, I don't understand anything. For me it was very difficult to understand how to prepare, because really I was far from the point. And then time to time, with exercise, with preparation, it comes very easily, really.
Okay, good, excellent. So now I'm just looking forward to candidates enrolling on this course more and more.
I hope so.
Preparing for the exam with you and Matthew as part of the study group, and passing.
Yes, of course.
Qualifying and opening new opportunities.
We'll do our best, really.
Thank you, Catherine.
Thank you, Irene.
Good luck with everything, with all your projects and with the study group that you are mentoring.